essentially to make IntelliDrive happen with a particular form of wireless communication as its core called DSRC, Dedicated Short Range Communications. And it's very similar to Wi-Fi that's probably floating around in this room. The difference in the standards, the way that the IEEE standards are set up, is that this form of communication can happen within a certain range, physical range, distance range, at, let's say, 10 times per second in a highly reliable way. So if two vehicles are approaching one another at 60 miles an hour, I mean, this is like a fourth grade math problem. When will Fred arrive in Kansas City? But when the two cars are approaching one another at high speed, that communication needs to be reliable and it needs to be fast. So DSRC is the communications framework for the safety critical piece of this. IntelliDrive, however, is really a suite of technologies and applications, generally with wireless connectivity. And so, as I mentioned before, we include vehicles, we include the operators, we include devices, and we include the infrastructure. And for a while, the industry was a little bit confused about the US DOT's commitment. So the Secretary said in May, we're fully committed to DSRC as a safety critical component of IntelliDrive. So if anyone ever asks you if the US DOT is committed to DSRC, just say yes. So I try to say this as many times as possible. We are committed. It's the core of our program, but not to the exclusion of other forms of wireless communication for other applications. So in the ITS program, which I'll say more about in a minute, we're also working to accelerate innovation. So we don't know everything. Ours is a research program, but we're also trying to get our stakeholders. Another thing about the US DOT